The conventional medical establishment loves a good metric. For decades, they've forced us onto scales, wrapped blood pressure cuffs until our fingers turn blue, and run standard blood panels that catch chronic diseases precisely 3 minutes before it's too late. But the latest darling of both the commercial wellness industry and the anti-aging community is the epigenetic clock. These tests promise to read the chemical tags on your DNA, specifically DNA methylation, and tell you your biological age. If you're 45, but the clock says you're 38, you win bragging rights at your next local biohacking meetup. If it says you're 52, cue immediate existential panic and a frantic online shopping cart full of supplements. But looking past the shiny marketing brochures of mainstream longevity wellness, a critical question remains. Are these clocks actually accurate, or are we just paying to watch a scientific roulette wheel spin? If you ask a commercial laboratory or read a mainstream health headline, they treat epigenetic clocks like the second coming of the stethoscope. Developed by researchers like Steve Horvath, these algorithms look at specific sites on your genome where chemical structures attach. The conventional narrative is beautifully simple. You live your life and experience environmental stress. Your DNA accumulates chemical tags over time, an algorithm counts these tags, and you receive a definitive biological age score. The commercial wellness industrial complex is already capitalizing on this. Imagine a world where insurance companies adjust premiums based on a quarterly epigenetic saliva test, or where companies market proprietary age-reversing interventions monitored by the very clocks they sell. It risks becoming a closed-loop system designed to turn health anxiety into predictable profit. While tracking DNA methylation is a fascinating window into cellular biology, commercial epigenetic clocks are incredibly noisy, highly variable, and deeply misunderstood. 1. The Monday versus Friday. Problem: if you take an epigenetic test on a stressful Monday morning after a weekend of poor sleep and a couple of drinks, your biological age readout might register years older than if you took the same test on a relaxed Friday afternoon following a week of clean nutrition. Your epigenome isn't carved in stone. It is a fluid, dynamic software program that reacts immediately to acute inflammation and stress hormones. 2. The tissue dilemma. Most commercial clocks analyze blood or saliva, but your body is not a single, uniform clock. Your liver might be biologically 50, your heart might be 40, and your cartilage could be 60. Testing white blood cells gives you a snapshot of the immune system, not total systemic health. Declaring a single biological age from a spit test is like checking the tread on a car's front left tire and assuming the transmission is in pristine condition. 3. Algorithmic guesswork. These tools are built on machine learning models trained on large populations. They illustrate correlations, not direct causations. The algorithm identifies that individuals facing rapid systemic decline share certain patterns, but it does not inherently understand the functional reason why your cells are behaving that way. Because commercial epigenetic clocks provide an abstract mathematical estimate rather than a clinical blueprint, true biological age optimization requires looking deeper into the structural and functional pillars of the cell. Instead of chasing a single generic score, we must utilize a highly cohesive cellular architecture known as the 5Ms framework to evaluate and optimize the core biological machinery driving your true rate of aging. Microvascular health. Microvascular health tracks the integrity, elasticity, density, relative ratios by diameter, and the protective layer called the glycocalyx of your smallest capillary networks. These finest blood vessels deliver essential oxygen and nutrients directly to your cells while carrying away metabolic waste. If microcirculation fails, cells, mitochondria, and tissues suffocate and age rapidly at a cellular level, completely independent of what an algorithmic clock predicts on paper. Mitochondrial efficiency. Mitochondrial efficiency involves the structural density, health, and energy-producing output of your cellular powerhouses. Your mitochondria produce the ATP, or the cellular energy currency, required for survival and continuous genetic repair and maintenance. Declining mitochondrial function accelerates cellular senescence, also known as zombie cells, the accumulation of stagnant, non-dividing cells that spew toxins, and directly corrupts the genetic readouts that these clocks try to measure. Metabolic balance. Metabolic balance represents the fluid equilibrium of hormone signaling, blood glucose stability, and nutrient-sensing pathways like mTOR and AMPK. When your metabolism is in balanced alignment, cellular resources are directed away from constant growth and fat storage. Instead, your body shifts its focus toward vital cellular repair, deep maintenance, and fundamental DNA protection. Metabolic reserve. Metabolic reserve defines the cellular system's capacity to withstand, adapt to, and recover from acute physiological stress, trauma, or toxic overload. True biological youth is characterized by resilience. Having a robust metabolic reserve ensures that if you encounter an injury, infection, or period of intense stress, your organs possess the energetic surplus needed to bounce back without permanent tissue damage. Perhaps the best indicator of metabolic reserve is lean body mass, which includes organ weight, and muscle mass accounts for the largest percentage of lean body mass by far. Membrane health. Membrane health centers on the fluid integrity, fatty acid composition, and receptor function of the cellular and nuclear lipid bilayers. The cell membrane is the ultimate gatekeeper of life. Healthy fluid membranes allow vital nutrients to enter, keep destructive toxins out, and protect the nucleus where your DNA resides, directly preserving your overall epigenetic stability. Epigenetic clocks are an impressive technological milestone, but they should not be treated as a definitive diagnosis or an oracle of health destiny. Instead of viewing the clock as a fixed scoreboard, it is far more useful to treat it as a sensitive, real-time dashboard while using the 5Ms framework to guide your daily actions. The goal isn't to chase a low number for vanity, it is to identify and manage the root drivers of accelerated biological wear. When an individual shows accelerated epigenetic aging, a reactive approach looks for a quick fix or a new pill to mask the symptoms. A progressive, proactive approach digs into the fundamental causes. It asks where the chronic systemic inflammation is originating, whether the gut microbiome is compromised, if mitochondrial dysfunction is being triggered by environmental stressors, and whether insulin resistance is driving cellular stress. True health optimization requires managing the cellular environment and functional mechanics at their root. To favorably influence your health span across the 5Ms framework, you must implement a strategy that directly targets these cellular systems. To support cellular chemistry and protect membrane health, your cells require the raw molecular ingredients to function and replicate correctly. Introducing targeted nutrients such as active vitamin B12, folate, trimethylglycine, TMG, magnesium, zinc, copper, iodine, and choline provides the essential chemical components your body needs to maintain precise metabolic pathways, support methylation, and reinforce structural lipids. To stimulate mitochondrial renewal and expand microvascular flow, structured physical exertion is mandatory. Progressive resistance training combined with targeted cardiovascular output creates a mechanical load that triggers mitochondrial biogenesis, which is the creation of brand new cellular powerhouses. This process prompts muscle tissues to upgrade energy production while demanding expanded capillary networks, directly reinforcing your microvascular delivery lines. To restore metabolic balance and build a deeper metabolic reserve, you must clear out biological clutter. Incorporating strategic fasting or structured caloric restriction naturally activates autophagy, the body's internal recycling mechanism. Autophagy breaks down and eliminates damaged cellular debris that can otherwise trigger chronic inflammatory responses, thereby restoring clean nutrient-sensing signaling and shifting cellular resources toward longevity pathways. Finally, you must stabilize your circadian rhythms to tie the entire framework together, maintaining strict light hygiene by seeking bright sunlight exposure first thing in the morning and ensuring absolute darkness at night aligns your central biological clock. This consistent cycle directly protects cellular repair windows by regulating deep sleep, allowing the body to optimize hormone balance and conduct intensive cellular maintenance overnight. Are epigenetic clocks strictly accurate? In an absolute diagnostic sense, no. They are approximations built on sophisticated statistical models, heavily swayed by transient lifestyle variables, and easily misinterpreted by a commercial market. However, when combined with a robust structural framework like the 5Ms, they hold immense value as a personal benchmark to track the trajectory of your health optimization journey. Do not let an isolated laboratory number dictate your sense of vitality. Treat the clock as a flexible baseline, address the core pillars of cellular integrity, and focus on the practical habits that yield true longevity. If you'd like guidance and coaching on optimizing your 5Ms, overall health, and health span, reach out to us and schedule a consultation. Telehealth available. We use nutrition, peptides, hormones, exercise, and a variety of progressive therapies to help you lower your biological age. Call 9418-065511 or email us at info@artc.health.